About what President Obama said last night in ordering those airstrikes. ISIS, as we know, is barbaric. They were engaged in genocide. That's the word that the president used. So in terms of all of this complexity, was it a relatively simple decision to say, let's just stop the convoys of ISIS?
I think it was because, as you say, they are really bad guys. This is about as evil as it gets. It's also, you know, it's heartbreaking because these are some of the oldest Christian communities in the world. These are Christian communities from the time of the Bible, really. And so to see them almost on the verge of extinction is horrific. There's another piece to this, which is, you know, you always want to do good, but sometimes it's just not clear how you would do it. Do you have local allies? Would your efforts make a difference? That's one of the things that has stopped the president from doing something dramatic in Syria. You could just be adding fuel on the fire. Here, you do have local forces, the Kurds, who are very tough, very strong, very pro-American, and have managed to carve out a kind of oasis of stability in this region. And so, in a way, all this military effort is going to bolster the Kurds, because the Kurds are now the guys fighting ISIS. I know it gets very complicated, but remember, three communities, the Shia, the Sunnis, the Kurds. The Kurds have been the strongest American allies. They are now under threat. So I think it's very smart and appropriate that we bolster them, because if they fall, that would be a pretty dangerous situation for the region and a catastrophe for the United States.
But it sounds like there's reason for hope tonight. If we are able to beat back ISIS with airstrikes, because I hear that there are 20,000 strong. That's some of the estimate in terms of the fighters of ISIS. If the airstrikes were to work, and if we were to arm the Kurds and help bolster them, it's possible to get rid of ISIS in Iraq?
I think it's certainly possible that you kind of cripple them. Get rid of them, I think, really does depend on that political solution where you bring back the Sunnis so that there aren't a lot of disaffected Sunnis. But you're absolutely right. The Kurds have been a very tough fighting force. The Kurdish army is called the Peshmerga. This has been generally regarded as probably the best trained and, most importantly, the most fearless, the most loyal. These are guys who want to fight. They believe they have a cause to fight for. They believe in you know, Kurdish independence or autonomy. And so you know, one of the struggles in American foreign policy is often we try to help locals, but if they don't want to fight, there's only so much you can do. Well, these guys want to fight. They're deeply pro-American. They have managed so far to hold out pretty well. They fell back because ISIS managed to, it was really a lightning strike with American arms, with new money they had gotten from that bank raid in Mosul that ISIS had done a few months ago. This can be reversed, and you're absolutely right. We might look back even 2 weeks from now and say ISIS hit its high water mark and it's now in retreat.
That would be wonderful. Very quickly, let's talk about Gaza. There are rockets flying at this hour. Is the peace process null and void?
The peace process is null and void. I think you could have a ceasefire process, you could have a crisis management process in place right now, but the peace process was fundamentally a process that was designed to deal with the kind of long-term solution to this problem. Two-state solution, Palestinian state and Israeli state, and the problem is we're just not even close to that. Where the Israelis are nowhere near ready to do that, the Palestinians are divided. As Jake was saying, Hamas seems to be gaining strength among its militants because the militants are the guys who are willing to fight. And so we can hope for a ceasefire, but I think the idea that we will get any kind of long-term solutions now seems years away, if not decades.